Respected friends, salutations, gratitudes, invitations, congratulations, prayers. Whatever the Shastras we are studying, including Yoga Vasishtha, Maha Ramayana, may our serious, sincere efforts, Bhagavad Guru Krupa, ensure that the correct purport of that those Shastras we get become sadhakas, do sadhana, obtain the siddhi, while conducting ourselves in the world amicably, amiably, in the welfare of all, as defined, decided by the divine. Yoga Vasishtha Maharamayana, Trutiya Utpatthi Prakaranam Leelopakhyanam Bhranti Vichara Varnana Leela Mata Saraswati Mata, explaining to the Raja Viduratha on his asking, Ki, how come such a Maya? One day back only I died as Raja Padma. Now I already have 70 years lived. My great grandfather also I remember. Whole days, whole lives, activities also I remember right from childhood. What is all this? Then the mother says, starting from the Brahmana Jivana in the Girigrama, including the earlier ones also you can imagine, everything of all the paramparas of Janma Marana and the karma and karma phalas only are in the chitta kalpana bhranti, other than adhisthana brahma. Nothing is real. See, when and how soon we reach to this knowledge, understanding of this knowledge, then ensuring it on our seat of meditation. Let us focus on that more and more. In a world of 10,000 or 99% speaking lies, that doesn't mean the lies become truths. So too, in the Kali Yuga, even though everyone living the outer life, taking it so sincerely, seriously as if it is real, yet it doesn't become real. Just because nobody is pursuing recognizing, the reality doesn't disappear, nor it ceases to exist. Reality is always real, whether somebody attends to it or not. So let us think for ourselves. Should we go in that Virayo Marga of taking the world as real, get lost in it, or take up the Shreya Marga and aim at the Adhisthana Paramatma through the Nivrutti Patha of Antarmukhatha Dhyana Ityad. Think for ourselves in which there is permanent liberation and bliss and infinitude, in which permanent misery, bondage. It's absolutely, the information is clear. The decision is ours, the opportunity is ours, freedom is ours. Let us see. Om, 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 Om Sahanavavatu Namo Brahmadibhyo Yairime Gurubihi Purvam Sri Rama Rama Rameti Om Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Samasta Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidya Acharyebhyo Rishibhyo Munibhyo Gurubhyo Devatabhyo Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha Sri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Vasishtadi Rishibhyo Namaha Sankalpaha Desham Sarvesham Kripanugraheణ उपनिषद योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यमोदेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थम सनातन धर्म से विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थम धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्री राम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि समस्त मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति देश निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनाधीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रुविघ्न समूल शाश्वत निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः धर्म मोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पितसत्कर्मसु तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्रीराम वसिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं। ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहम्। तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्रीगुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नता स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। योग वासिष्ठ महा रामायण शास्त्रम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम लीलोपाख्याने भ्रांति विचार वर्णनम नाम एकचत्वारिंशः सर्गः। Took so much time, my dear friends, that little we are able to chant these shlokas. Little we are able to know at least the literal meaning, the indicative deeper meanings, understanding, grasping, making them our part of our life, living those wisdoms to these next heights also. When we scale, which of course needs so much of tapasya, so much of parishrama, so much of tyaga, etc., but not impossible. When we scale to those heights, our journey towards the spiritual truth will be taking up good speed, and we can ensure ourselves we are reaching towards it. So, yesterday, what we have seen was told in the introduction that when the Raja Narayana woke up, did namaskar to them, Saraswati Mata's Anugraha, Mantri woke up, Mother Saraswati asked Raja, who are you? Tell me about you, to whom you are born. Mantri tells about the entire Vamsha Parampara. This is how he is Viduratha, the great king, taking care of Praja so lovingly with all dharma. And now you have come to bless us, etc. Then touching his head, Mother Saraswati tells, remember your past life. Immediately he remembers the Padma Raja Jivana of him, so too the Brahmana Jivana of him with all the happenings. One, the unknown, unseen things of Leelas, Upasana Leelas, maturity to the Ativahika Sthiti, etc. Mother Saraswati's blessings, all that he remembers. and get stuck with wonderment that as Raja Padma, yesterday only he died, but now as Raja Viduratha, he lived 70 years. How? To that question, mother is giving answer. What is the answer? Very subtle it is. Two things in that. Hope I'll try to convey. Hope you will try to catch it. First, she says, the moment you died as the Brahmana, at that very moment and very place, Raja Padma got projected. The moment the Raja Padma died, okay, in that very place, Akasha, that very moment, this Raja Viduratha projected. The subtle word used is the moment. In that moment only, all that happened, though it appears to be a long, long, long life. This is one sublime thing. More subtler than this is not that when the moment Brahmana died, the Padmaraja born with all the things, little subtler than that is the moment the pure self is forgotten. How it happened, why it happened, we don't know when it happened. That very moment, the Desha and Kala, okay, the Desha and Kala and Vastu, all these three are, point to listen carefully, projected. Once they are not real, projected, they need not have the rules, regulations, linearities, etc. Is equal to in that projected Desha Kala Vastuta, they being mutually related to each other. By Vastu, if somebody is human, then his Kala is 100 years lifespan. And by Vastu, if he is a ant, his Kala is only 2 or 3 days. Kala change होगा कि नहीं? By Vastu, if he is Brahmadeva, his Kala is one Mahakalpa. है ना? Now देखो, one Brahmadeva himself total Ayurdhayam is one Mahakalpa. In which there are two Parardhas of 50-50 years of him, etc. etc. In that Brahmadeva's Mahakalpa, let us say 100 years, 1 second of him, 1 second of that Brahmadeva, in the Indralokas, Devatas, for them, how many years it is? है ना? Gandharvaloka, how many years it is? 1 second of Brahmadeva. In the human being, 1 second of Brahmadeva, it may be 10 lakhs of years. Think about it. मनुष्य के इतना है तो for a microbe which is just born and dying in few seconds only, human seconds. What is the parameter of Brahmadeva's 1 second? What we are saying is, just to understand the Kala is not same, it is relative. Another thing we experience, so many. One experience is dream 3 seconds or 3 maximum 20, 30, 40 seconds, 3 generations are lived. One experience. Cinema 3 घंटे में 3 generations they show. Second example. Third, when the experiences are good, time so quickly flies. Like having enjoyment with friends, eating food, watching movie. 3 घंटे 2 मिनट में जाते. And the Vedanta satsang, 15 minutes takes 15 yuga. Your loving people come, time quickly flies. When those who don't like, time khatam hi nahi hota. In train journeys, 15-hour journey, 14 hours just go like that. Last 1 hour itna satata hai. Looks to be more than those 14 hours. In that 1 hour, when there is let's say सिग्नल लाल बत्ती लग गई कहीं ट्रेन रुक गया मानो इतना हो हल्ला हंगामा करते हैं इन द टेम्पल दर्शन ऑल्सो 6 घंटे में 5.5 घंटे खड़े होते हैं लास्ट हाफ एन आवर see that disturbance in the mind. How many examples we are giving to tell that everyone has time, but time is different for everyone. Okay. Another geographical bhaugolika example is that what is the time parameter comparatively on earth and on the moon. ठीक है? On the earth 1 year is 365 days, but on moon 1 year is how much? It is much more 4. And for the Brahaspati like planets, which have more than 120 or also sorry satellites etc., they say 13,000 से ज्यादा दिन होते हैं एक साल में. I don't know, you just calculate and you see. I'm not expert in all that. But for them, the 1 year is 13,000 days, Indian days of the earth. But the funny thing is, for them it doesn't happen 30,000 days. For them it appears as much it is for them. We compare with ours to them. So many examples are given. Finally, in the chitta, the desha kala are kalpita, and depending on requirement, it is It is calculated. You can use the word manipulated. But chitta itself is the projection on the pure Brahman. Therefore, when the Brahman is forgotten, in that ignorance, the desha kala vastu are projected, and they are infinite varieties. And the time for a frog is different from a time for a parrot. It's different for a crocodile. It's different for a tortoise. It's different for a camel. Think about it. Even the place is different. Even the people are different. Like for us also. This person is friend to me, but for somebody is an enemy. You know? Like for a dog. Its owner is so close to him, for the dog. But when we go, it looks at us like his enemy and barks at us. वस्तुओं का हम देख रहे हैं भिन्न भिन्न and beauty is what? All these are chitta vikalpa, which can entertain if we are not lost in them, which can trouble us when we are lost in them. Troubling is when we take them as a reality. Entertaining is when we have knowledge that it is mithya. And when do we play in the world knowing it as mithya? Only when we know the reality. Therefore, just like not knowing the reality is the cause and continuation of problems called as samsara, knowing the reality also is the beginning and continuation of solution. Therefore, all Shastras, each of them telling us in their own unique way, the logics used, examples used, you know. The final thing is know the truth, know the reality, know the Brahman as your own Atman. Sarvam Brahma and that Brahma I am. Sarvami etat Brahma, I am Atma Brahma. I am Atma Brahma. This self is Brahman. And the highest audacity, I am Brahman, which we'll be seeing in our next text again. So, Mata very clearly telling Viduratha now. Let us start from that. Atmodantam babhuvasau uhyamana ivarnave uvachatmani samsare batamayeyamatata parignata prasadena devyorih mayaduna. So entire this thing is Maya. I am now floating like in the ocean. By this Devi's Kripa I know it. Parignata prasadena devyo hiya mayaduna. Now his prashna. Raja uvacha. Hey devyo, kimidam nama. Oh Devis, what is this? What? Dinam ekam mrutasya me. One day back only I died. Gatam adya iha jatani vayo varshani saptati. Iha adya jatani gatam jatani. Here as this Raja life mine already passed. Varshani saptati. 70 years. In those 70 years, smarami aneka karyani. Whatever the things from childhood, variety of them I have done. I remember all of them which consume time. Smarami prapitamaham. I remember father, grandfather, great grandfather also. Smarami balyam. I remember all my childhood, so many things I did. Tarunyam. Youth age also I remember. Mitram. In that age with friends. Whether it is Mantri Putras, Sainadipati Putra. How many friends I had in so many places. I went in so many things. Bandhu, how many relatives used to come to our house? We used to go to them. Parichadam, the Mantri Ganas, the Sevakas, the other people who were helpful in our life. How many I have seen? How many I have interacted with them? How many things have happened? Generally, it took so much. It takes so much time, but all this happened in one day. That yesterday only I died. Nyaptiruvacha. What Mother Saraswati said is very sublime. We have just started studying these metaphysical subjects just now only. How many lives it will take us to become so much pure, subtle, to grasp from what standpoint these are done. But we made a beginning, I believe. These are all not said by Saraswati Mata. We are discussing mutually. That's why sometimes, even though it's a truth, you cannot publicly talk because the others won't accept. They create hangama, halla gulla. In the same way, these jnana vishayas in the utter Kali Yuga taken outer world as real, publicly everybody cannot be fit to understand, so need not be shared to this world eternally every time. The moral values is the only subject which is non-controversial. You know? Like we talk about spirituality, we have about devatas. Religions fight with each other. But when it comes to morals and ethics, nobody will fight because everybody agrees them. है ना? सत्य बोलना झूठ नहीं बोलना. It is accepted by all. That's why morals ethics are the only ones eternally required, eternally publicly spoken. Other things confidential, depending on their acceptability, availability, ability, maturity, all that. So this sublime text of Vaashishthaji we are studying, expecting that we grow to that sublime level to grasp the purport. And in these Shastras, the Mukti Jnanam is alone given. So what studying this is not a wrong thing. Now Jnapti Devi, Mother Saraswati, is saying to Raja Viduratha, Rajan, O Raja, Mruti Maha Moha Murchayaha Samanantaram. When you died in whichever the life, okay, when you died, at that very moment. Now we are considering three: Viduratha, Padma, and Brahmana. Because पूरा स्टोरी शुरू से इतना ही आ रहा है ना, वही उसी पे फिक्स हो जाओ. थ्रू दैट यू अंडरस्टैंड द ट्रूथ. उससे पहले क्या थे, उससे पहले क्या थे, जो भी थे ऐसा ही थे बस. Did not know all of that. So Rajan, Mruti Mahamoha Murchaya Samantra. Mruti named Mahamoha, Mruti named Murcha after that, immediately. Samantra means immediately after that. Then, so no, Tasmin Lokantare Atite, which you are considering as past, which is over. In that Loka, whichever Brahmanda it was, in that Bhuloka, in that Bharatavarsha, in that Girigrama, in that Brahmana Gruha, Tasmin Eva Muhurtake. At that very moment, you as Brahmana, when you died, Tasmin Eva Gruhecha, in that Brahmana Gruha only, Tasmin Eva Vyomni Api Sadmani, in that Gruha's rooms Akasha only. Ayam Tasya Gruhasya Antaha, Vyomani Eva Kilastite. In that very Akasha stationed is Girigramaka Viprasya Gruhe. In that Gruha of the Brahmana, that Gruha which was there in the Girigrama, there alone, Antarbhupa Mandapaha. That Raja Padma's entire Rajya and his Antapura and his Mandapa, where he died, Mandapaha. Then Tasya Antare, in that again Raj Mahals, Antapuras, that halls, that Mandap में तस्य अंतरे यम आभाति प्रत्येकम च जगत गुरुहम. Okay, from the Brahmanas, Grahas, Akasha, Raja, Padmas, entire Loka, Rajya, in that Rajya, all the houses of everybody, his own Antapura. In the Antapura Akasha, again, as the Raja Viduratha, and at that time, the entire Brahmanda, the variety of Lokas, Janas, and the Bhumandala, in this kingdom, now he is the king, all of them. So, tasya antare yam abhati prati ekam cha jagat gruham kila brahmana gehantaha jivahate. This is what is about. The whole thing is there only. So, this Viduratha Raja's entire thing is in the Padma Raja's Gruha Akasha, Mandapa Akasha, Antapura Akasha. The Padma Raja's entire thing is in the Brahmana Girigrama Brahmana Gruha Akasha only. And all of that is in Chitta only. Main is that. Chitta is in Chida, pure consciousness. About the worlds, she told. Beings also. Ki kila brahmana gehantar jiva hate madhupastitaha. When you were there in the brahmana greha as brahmana jiva, you have done my upasana plenty. Again repeating. Tatra eva tasya bhupitham tasminscha kila mandape tasya eva cha gruhasya antaha idam samsara mandala. In that Brahmana Gruha Akasha is Padma's entire thing. Raja Padma's Antapura Akasha is now you as a Viduratha with all your this paraphernalia. Tatra eva idam tava gruham sthitam aramba mantaram. This all thing is in that only. Tatra eva chetasi tava nirmala akashe nirmale. Pratibham agatamidam vyavahara brahma atatam. In that your pure consciousness, unknown, appeared as the Chetaha Chitta, which was otherwise earlier absolutely Nirmala. So Chitta Nirmala is Chitta. In the Chit, where is some disturbance has happened, it has become Chitta. In that Chitta only, all these are there. Tatra eva chetase tava nirmala akasha nirmale pratibham agatamidam. Okay, pratibham agatamidam, all this has come to appear. And vyavahara Brahma atatam. All this is Vyavahara Brahma spread in this way. Like when you are in a glass house, both sides, piche, aage, char. How many reflections you see of ours? Iske andar, iske andar, iske andar. Or I am sleeping. I got dream. In the dream I slept. And to that sleeping fellow, there another dream came. And to him, in another dream came. Ab dekho, it is endless na. And where all that is happening? In the chitta only. Okay, in that chitta, let us start from the brahmana जीवा. वहां से शुरू करता मैं. उससे पहले से भी ले सकते हो, but not required. There only all these vyavahara brahma atatam. Atam is spread. Brahma is delusion vyavahara. Only for the vyavahara, the brahma spread. See, today we have seen in our Mandukya Upanishad, Pratibhasika, Deyas are Swapnika, Mahika. Vyavaharika Dehas are Jagatika, Jagrata, so too the Nirmitika. And the Paramarthika is only one Parabrahma. Other have maximum Vyavahara Sthiti or Bhranti Sthiti. Jagrata Avastha is Vyavahara. Swapna is Bhranti. But none of them are Paramarthika, supreme reality or supreme truth. Supreme real is only Parabrahma. Here also, Idam Vyavahara Brahmam Atatam, Brahma Atatam. Entire Vyavahara Brahma spread in that Chitta only Chetasi. And what are the Brahma? See the whole thing. Mother is narrating of what he said, which we already saw. Again, repetition only by mother to say, सरस्वती जी that ये सारा शुद्ध परमात्मा में कल्पित ही है. Paramatma is always as he is. Like on TV screen. Another child is born, is growing. You observe it. अच्छा 10 साल का हो गया 20 साल का हो गया किधर हुआ इट्स ऑन द स्क्रीन यू आर सीइंग दैट मूवी फ्रॉम 10 मिनट्स ओनली कोई कोई सिनेमा में तो वो साइकिल चलाते चलाते ही एकदम बड़ा हो जाता है एक गाने में ही फ्रॉम हिज मदर कंसीव्ड एंड गॉट बर्थ टू ही हैज बिकम ऑलरेडी पुलिस ऑफिसर रिपोर्टेड 2 मिनट में दैट इज द चॉइस ऑफ द डायरेक्टर ही डजंट वांट टू वेस्ट टाइम उसको पुलिस बनाकर फिर मेरा मेन स्टोरी आगे You see that little subtle we have to become na upasanaएं करके शुद्ध अंतःकरण करके शुद्ध अंतःकरण is more important where there are no distractions into the worldliness with that shuddhata these things can focusedly be understood exactly this is the topic we are going to study in Gita in tomorrow's class in our 67th sloka इंद्रियाणां हि चरतां यत् मनः अनुविधीयते तद हर अस्य हरति प्रज्ञां वायुर्नावमिमां बस सब रिलेटेड है समझना पड़ेगा नाउ शी इज नरेटिंग ऑल द थिंग्स व्हाट आर द थिंग्स यथा इदम नाम में दैट दिस इज माय नेम विदुरथ जन्म तथा इक्ष्वाकुकुलम मम दिस इज माय नेम हियर इज वेयर आई एम बोर्न आई एम बिलोंगिंग टू दिस इक्ष्वाकुकुला एवं नामान दिस इज नॉट माय नेम नाउ मे पुरा अभूवन पितामहाः दिस इज माय फादर ग्रैंडफादर ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर जातोहम I am born abhavam balaha I was a child dashavarshasya when I was 10 years may pita my father parivrat he got vairagya he took sannyasa then vanam yataha to do the sadhana and realize he went to the forest Navorat Raja. Then Iha Rajya Abhishinchamam, having established me in this kingdom as a king, at the age of 10 only he became Parivrat and went for his sadhana and moksha. Tataha Digvijayam Krutva, then I with the help of all mantrina conquered all the other Shatrus, Digvijayam Krutva, Krutva Rajyam Akantakam made my kingdom, freed from all the enemies. Then Amibihi Mantribihi Pauraihi, with all the mantris help, I did that. Pauras, the other people helping me. Palayami Vasundaram, with the help of all this, I am ruling this kingdom. Then while doing so, Yajna Kriya Kramavataha, all the Yajna Kriyas, Yajna Karmas, Krama Rupena I am doing regularly. Dharme Palayataha Prajaha, with all dharma I am doing the Palana of the Praja. Then Vayasah Samatitanimam Varshani Saptati. While doing all this, करते करते मेरे 70 साल उम्र हो गया 70 years. In the meantime, suddenly now, idam parabalam praptam. The Shatrus have come and attacked me. Mama daruna vigraha. With terrible force, the enemies have attacked my kingdom. Yuddham krutva. Then I had a ferocious war with them. Idam ayataha geham. Asmin yathastitam. Then I came to this room today after doing that yuddha. Then when I came here sleeping, when I suddenly woke up, ime devyo gruhe prapte. Mama, to my house these two great devis have come. Ete pujayami aham. And I have done the puja of them and I will do. Why? Pujitahi prayachanti devataha swasamihita. When worship is done to these devatas, having worshipped by us, they give us what we desire. है ना, पूजिता ही प्रयच्छन्ति देवताः स्वं समीहितं मम इयम् एतयोः एका ज्ञानं jati smriti pradam. One of them has blessed me by touching with her hand on my head. Jati smriti pradam, which gave me the smriti of the jati and my pradam. Jati smriti pradam, mera janma ka hai sara. By her touch, she gave one of these devis. Then Iha Dattavati Devi Bhabja Seva Vikasanam. Her splendid blessings were such that, like with the sunlight, as the lotus gets unfolded or blossomed, my Buddhi Vikasa happened by the blessing of this Devi. Now Kruta Krutyos. I have fulfilled myself. Jatosmi Gata Samshayaha. All my doubts have dispelled, ignorance has gone away. Shamyami. Now I am calm and quiet within me. Parinirvami. I am in the Nirvana sthiti. Sukham Asecha Kevalam. In that Kevala Sukha, now I am reveling. Okay. So much did Saraswati narrated all the things that have happened to him. Iti, all these things that are told are yam atata bhrantir bhavataha bhuri sambrama. All of that is bhranti only, sambrama only. Along with nana achara viharadhya. That so many acharas, so many viharas you have done. Sa lokantara sanchara. That in this world you went to different countries to make friends, to do business, to fight. And in different lives, you went to different lokas. All these happened where? Yasmin epa muhurte tvam vritim abhyagataha pura. That moment you died as Brahmana there. At that very moment only, in that moment only, all these things are there. Hmm? So, iti yam atata bhrantir bhavataha bhuri sambrama. So many bhrantis in this way of you have happened. Nanachara viharadya, so many achara viharas, sa lokantara sanchara, going to different lokas. Yasmin eva muhurte tva mritim abhyagata pura. That moment where you died as that Raja, as that Brahmana, tada eva, at that very moment only, Pratibha esha te swayameva udita hridi. In your own hridaya and chitta, all this was planned, projected. Okay? And then the things which appear to have happened in one life, in many lives, in sequentially mixed up, they are being explained here. Ekam avarta chalanam tyaktva, like the water gives up one form of avartata, datte yatha param, and takes the other avartata. And water only, one whirlpool it is in, that whirlpoolness goes as if it takes another whirlpoolness or the waveness. So to your own chitta took up one set of bhrantis, and then in the very moment within it or outside it or leaving it or mixing it up with it, mixing up with it, taken up the other avarta. Shiprameva nadi vaha vitpravahas tataivacha. And nadi flowing, one avarta or wave happened. Then it leaves that waveness, takes up the other one, mixes with the other ones. That's what next one. Avartantara sammishraha yatha avartaha pravartate. Mixing up with the other avartas. Hmm? Kadachit evam sargashrihi mishra amishra cha vartate. This is how the creation is. The mishra amishra avartana. Here, a minute we can pause to grasp it. Yesterday, at the end, with this topic only, we almost concluded. Me, my chitta. I am an individual, my chitta. In my chitta, all projected. In that I am living. You, your chitta, you are projecting living. Sometime your chitta avrutti, avartanam, my chitta avartanam can come together and become mishrita also. Like one whirlpool going on or wave, another going on. Both of them come together and mix up karke, they can move ahead, no? Think. This is the answer to, then how come you are in my jagat, I am in your jagat? To all these questions, the chitta brahmas have got mixed up. But two common things, don't forget. One point is, either it is yours or mine or mixed up, it is chitta brahma only. Second is, to all the brahmas of all the so-called individualities, the substratum is one without second self only. So instead of talking it as you and me, we can talk in this language. That in that infinite pure conscious place, and in that infinite pure consciousness, at one place, one chitta got projected, and that chitta projecting the world, which we name as you. And in the same infinite all pervading consciousness, in other place, another chitta got projected. In that the whole world got projected, which you and I am naming it as me. Isn't it? If you think like that, the doubts go away. The problems, doubts come, inability to understand comes because we give extra or excessive importance to our individualities. Individuality itself is projection when you know. When you give weightage to that point, that individualities all are projected, reality alone is one, then the devaluation of the individuality is done, then the doubts will go away, the difficulties go away in understanding. इन्फिनेट कॉन्शियसनेस में एक आवर्त बना, दो तीन चार आवर्त, वो आवर्त को एबिलिटी मिला टू नो. द मोमेंट इट केम टू नो और इट गॉट द एबिलिटी टू नो, it is identifying with itself and upadhi and calling others as different. Something like the child, at the age of 4 months, 5 months, 3 months, he has no individuality and he has no differentiation. That is why, even if his own grandfather looks like terrible Rakshasa, he gets afraid. Because he is afraid because of the form, not because he is the grandfather, etc. So, to even a distant person unknown, but if he looks good and gives smile, he loves it. उसको individuality नहीं है, the world is not recognized as. In fact, the fellow who was appearing so terrible, frightening, looking at whom he cried, he is his own loving grandfather. He is creator's creator. And the fellow who smiled at you is a terrible गुंडा है वो बच्चों को किडनैप करने वाला. But that child has no identity of his own, nor recognition of others and others. Isn't it? In the same way, he is not afraid of the lions or tigers or crocodiles. No, he just goes to talk to them. He just hugs them also. Nor he has an idea of it's a fire, it will burn me. Because he has no I am body consciousness. Isn't it? It's we who teach them. You are this, you are this. अब क्यों इसे झेलना है करके he accepts all things and he becomes habituated to that individuality. Then I am Indian, I am Hindu, I am Brahmana, and I am this, that. इतने सारे उसको कपड़े गर्मी में पहनाए जाते हैं. इन गर्मी when you have 10 clothes wearing, suffocation नहीं तो क्या होगा? We're all suffocated with so many pseudo individualities. Undress all of them, you are Brahman. Tough na to grasp it, but that is the fact. Here, the Mishra Avarta Udaharana sufficient to tell us that how we mix up with the each ones, and that each one itself is projection. So, my own chitta gets mixed up with your chitta, you are with mine. So, we have mutually some common chitta for some time. But before that, me and my chitta also is projection in the reality. You and your chitta also is projection in the reality. Is it on the earth? Your continent, your country, my country, all projected. That's why a pure Vedanti doesn't identify with anyone. He says, इस लाइफ में इधर हूँ, अगले जन्म में कहाँ हूँ. हाँ, जब यहाँ हूँ, it's simple common sense. That I am born as Hindu, I rise above Hindu at the same time practically. I live as Hindu also because I am born. आगे उसका भी तभी जस्टिफाई करना है ना एट द व्यवहार लेवल में. Like when they ask me in the in the application form, religion, I can't say I'm Brahmasmi, Brahman has no religion. It won't accept, though it's a fact. There I have to write it. And I live also because I'm born, I'm trained in that it is good, it is useful. For others, it's their own. So living our own, yet rising above it. On the name of rising above it, disobeying this also is not right. Living at that level, fighting with others also is not right. After all are conveniences given for growth. Like in Indian system, why caste system is made? Just yes, only for one reason. At least on the name of the caste, you all come together to mutually help each other. In this world, it is so tough to live alone. For that reason, the caste system is made to help each other. It is never made to differentiate with other caste and fight with them, which they encashed by the other people, politician, whoever they may be later on. बना क्यों कास्ट? इस कास्ट का मतलब एक दूसरे को हेल्प करो, एक फैमिली मतलब एक दूसरे को हेल्प करो. फॉर दैट हेल्पिंग पर्पस इट इज गिवन, not to say mine is great, your is great. Nothing is great. Anything which takes you to reality is great. Everything which takes you away from it is not great. That is the criteria of good or not good. If somebody asks me, is other religion great or not? What are you asking? Wrong question. Anything which takes to reality is great. That's the definition. Anything which doesn't take to the reality, takes away from it, it is not great. Whichever it is, now definition is khatam there. Anyway, these are all the examples and their explanations. Here, the point is, kadachit evam sarga shrir mishra mishra cha vardate. Mishra mixes with others. Do, teen, panch, das, bees, chitta whirlpools can come together, which is called as a family, a group of people, etc. It stays for a long time, it stays for some time. विचित्र है ना. लोग नो अपने घर में से ज्यादा which of the organization or friendship they have, they spend more time there. So there the Mishrana is happening there. Some people know organization, only their own family relatives. Some people not even relatives, only family. Some people not even family, wife and husband. Only two. जिसमें चुप के रहते, they are not worried in the children also. Mean their avartas are only two. In some cases, the wife is in her own life of chitta, her own world she lives. Her husband lives in his own world. You see in this, people so many retired, अपने मस्ती में रहते. The wife is with the children and he with his pension stays 10 kilometers away from the family. अपने आवर्त में रहता है वो. Then he becomes old, he cannot move, then he shifts to the wife's place or children's place. नाटंकी चल रहा है ना. अभी इमेजिन करो कितना क्लैरिटी मिल रहा है इससे. सो कदाचित एवं सर्गश्रीर मिश्रा मिश्रा च वर्तते. नाउ द पॉइंट विथ विच इट स्टार्टेड is concluding. Tasmin mruti muhurte te pratibhanam upagatam. At that moment of the mruti only, all this happened. Every of the time that has taken, every of the events that have happened from that particular jiva standpoint, in that muhurta only. ते प्रतिभानो भगत एतत् जालम असद्रूपम चिद्भानो हो समुपस्थितम. All this jalam, the snares or the nets or the projections or the webs, etc., are asadrupam. None of them are reality. Chidbhano ho, of the pure conscious self, who is like Surya, on him samyak upastitam, very well projected. Another example he gives, which we have already seen, yatha swapna muhurte antaha. In a swapna, which is only muhurta kala, in that samvatsara shata brahmaha, there will be a brahma of 100 years have been spent. In a muhurta kala swapna, shata samvatsara kala is experienced or not in this way. Another example, yatha sankalpa nirmane, Only in the Sankalpa you have projected a life or world. Jivanam Maranam Puna. In that 5 minutes of Sankalpa only, Jivana, Marana, in between all events, in that moment's time you can project. Third example, Yatha Gandharva Nagare. In that Gandharva Nagara, Kudya Mandana Vedanam. That there is a Kudya, there's a walls that are there, and there is a chat hai uske upar. In that way, uh, projected it is very solid. It looks like. Next, Yatha Navyana Sambrambhe. When the boat is moving in the waters, Purva Parvatan, Vriksha Parvata Vepanam. The now is going forward, but all the Parvatas, Vrikshas are going back. Today's world, you go in car or train, and there are all the trees, everything is going back. ऐसा अपियर होता है. देन यथा स्वधातु संक्षोभे. इन द स्वधातु संक्षोभ थोड़ा दिमाग फिर गया तो पूर्व पर्वत नर्तनम. देयर इज अ पर्वत इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. इट अपियर्स एज इफ डांसिंग. स्वधातु संक्षोभ मीन्स द इंद्रियास आर माइंड. थोड़ा हिल गया तो. देन यथा समंजस स्वप्ने. In one of the very conspicuously experienced dream, स्वशिरा प्रविकर्तनम. किसी ने मेरा सर काट दिया और मैं अपने सर लेके डॉक्टर यहाँ गया और डॉक्टर साहब ने लगाया, मैं फिर घर आ गया. And the wife shouting, where is that headless fellow? He came, no, I came back with head. Don't tell me again headless. Swashira kartanam, pravikartanam. All of this mithya evam yam praudha bhranti atata ropini. How many examples I can give you to prove that so many things experienced but are bhranta. So swapna shirachedanam is a bhranti. Then dhatu sankshoba parvata nartanam bhranti. Now yana in boat going, everything is going back, appears experienced. You can see that वो आपसे दूर जा रहा है जा रहा है जा रहा है, लेकिन वो नहीं जा रहा, उधर ही है, अपन जा रहे हैं. बट अपन जा रहे ऐसा नहीं लगता. थर्ड नंबर भ्रांति. फोर्थ गंधर्व नगर कुड्यम. फिफ्थ इन्हें संकल्प जीवन वृद्धाप्य एक्सीडेंट और रोग मरण all of them. Then sixth one swapna samvatsara shatabhrama. How many are examples given you see? In the same way, pure chit consciousness, objectified is chitta. Then in that chitta, all these are asadrupa bhranti, sadrupena ajnanena svikrutam. It's all delusion taken as real out of our ignorance. Okay, vastutastu. Now this one shloka is the conclusion. Vastutahatu, in reality to, na jataha asi, you are never born. Na mrutaha asi kadachana, you never died. So if I am not born, not died, who is that me who is never born, never died? Shuddha Vijnana Rupaha Tvam. You are the pure consciousness. है ना. अहम ब्रह्मास्मि प्रज्ञा और प्रज्ञा प्रज्ञप्ति स्वरूप हम तस्मिन् स्थितः स्थित प्रज्ञा. स्थिता प्रतिष्ठिता अहम अस्मि परम ब्रह्म इति प्रज्ञा यस्य सह स्थित प्रज्ञा. See that all texts talk same. From so many texts we are getting everyday data. Little more we become oriented, related, serious, sincere, tuned, own this knowledge, start living it. We are working out on our own moksha. निग्लेक्ट कर दिया तो फिर फंसते रहो अपने चित्त भ्रांति में. सो वस्तुतस्तु न जातोसि न मृतोसि कदाचन शुद्ध विज्ञान रूपहत्वम शांत आत्मनि तिष्ठसि. You are that pure Atman which is absolute peace. Shanta, Shantasya Kuta Sukham. Morning class. Shantaha Upashamita. Okay. Pashyasi vai tadakilam nacha pashyasi kinchana sarvatmakataya nityam prakachasya atmana atmani. Know it, everything is you only, there is nothing other than you. Then, in this way, this chapter continues with some more lokas. We'll see them tomorrow. सीधे को आनंद आ रहा है कि नहीं अपने वेदांत. धीरे धीरे जब समझने की स्थिति में वी रीच टू. तो हमें अभी नहीं समझ में आया, अरे वेट फॉर सम मोर टाइम, कंटिन्यू, यूर ऑन द पाथ. है ना. अब दाढ़ी वाले के यहाँ हजामत के टाइम बैठते हो कि नहीं, और 10 मिनट हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ तो बैठते हो. हॉस्पिटल में डॉक्टर साहब जाऊं मैं, नहीं और 2 दिन रहो, और रहते हो कि नहीं? इन द सेम वे, अभी हुआ नहीं तो होने तक रहो, ये भी हॉस्पिटल है। और वेदांत क्लासेस, है ना? एक तो चीज है कि absolutely what level we were there when we started of understanding, same level we are not. At least little improvement has come. That much acknowledgement if you have, then what Guru says can induce faith in you. That continue, then further improvements will come. If you become rash and arrogant and careless and say no, 5 साल से सुन रहा हूँ कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ा, then don't come. Guru says he leaves it, gives you up. What to do? Has some, if the difference has not happened, means you have not done the homework. That much rocky and stony, at least rock and stone surrenders that somebody can carve a vigraha out of it, है ना? थोड़ा समझ तो आ गया, चित्त इतना समझ में आ गया, चित्त वृत्तियां समझ में आ गया, चित्त वृत्तियों में जगत है इतना समझ आ गया, इन सबका आई एम कॉन्शियस, आई एम कॉन्शियसनेस है ना, जो समझ तो आ गया। याद नहीं होता होगा, डोंट फॉरगेट, दैट्स डिफरेंट। अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज डिफरेंट, रिमेंबरिंग इज डिफरेंट। अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज बुद्धि's वर्क, रिमेंबरिंग इज चित्ता's वर्क. Chitta may be filled with all unwanted data. Therefore, you may be forgetting every day, but every day you are understanding. That's why Shraddha Devi, Dharana Devi, Medha Devi. You have to have the liking and interest to come and listen. You have to have the concentration with love, Dharana. Then you have to put effort to remember also. है ना? अरे कहाँ रखा मैंने, चाबी भूल गया, याद करने का कोशिश करते हो ना, किताब कहाँ रखा था, वी ट्राई नो. So too, what is said in the class, try to remember. That's called mananam. When you do mananam, the chitta gets this knowledge stored in it. Some things in our life, in this way we remember, then we know it where it is. Every day we remember. Sometimes कुछ लोग ना चाबी कहाँ रखते हैं, कोई कोई लोग याद रखते नहीं, कि भूल ही जाते हैं, 5 साल तक वस्तु वहीं पड़ी है. So we have forgotten to remember what is said in the Shastra. For lives together, we are away from it. It can be a precious stone, precious diamond, a precious gold that we don't remember where it is kept. It goes out of our memory. So too is the valuable Adhyatmic Jnana. If you are not remembering every day, it won't remain in your chitta. As simple as that. So we are getting some change in us, some understanding in us. It has begun. Even if you say with all that advancy, still the advice is, today if not has happened, सबर करो और थोड़े दिन करो, थोड़ा थोड़ा आएगा. और भी पूछोगे तो नहीं आया, आने तक करते रहो, आएगा बस, है ना? सम ऑफ आवर चित्तास आर टफ नट्स टू क्रैक, सो इट टेक्स लिटिल मोर टाइम, दैट्स इट. जैसे आप नट को क्रैक करते हो, एक को एक दबा मारो टूटता है, एक को 2 मारना पड़ता है, एक को 3, एक को तो 10 बार मारना है. But for the speaker here, there is a joy to have all these satsangas through that, remembering the Sanatana Dharma's glory, remembering the reality, and refreshing the goal. That this is the goal, not anything else. Okay, continue tomorrow. Sarvam Ramarpanam Om Purnamadaha Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu.